Welcome to another edition of DX Engineering Videos, and today we have Michael Coulter, WHCI, who's one of the officers at the Dayton Amateur Radio Association here in Talmadge, Ohio. Welcome, Michael.
It's a pleasure to be here, Tim.
It's great to have you back. You visited here before, and we're very privileged to have you stop in. And let's get a little update on Hamvention 2017. How are things going?
Actually, we've had issues, and we have a lot of positives. So let me give you kind of a quick rundown. What I want to say first is that I can't give information out that is not solid. And I know that people have questioned us, why don't we know about this? Why don't we know about that? So we're asking for people's support along the way and trust us. I mean, we have put on Hamvention for many years very successfully, and this is a new playing field for us. We really like getting good ideas that come in. We appreciate that. And we also would like for people to work with us as we work with so many other organizations. This is a tough year for us, and by God, it's going to be a 5-star event. So let me start with a real positive. The county has just finished bringing in a high-speed internet pipe for the buildings, and we are very excited about that. And do I know the speed yet? I really don't have that information, but it'll be forthcoming. But that is a really big move for us. And then we're going to have AT&T is agreed to drop phone lines in wherever people may need a phone line in the buildings. Mm-hmm. I want to also mention that one of the big things that we get is, there's a lot of roads going in there that aren't very wide, so how in the world are you going to handle that? So we recognize that in our own organization that we needed to reach out to a professional engineering firm that does this all over the country to help us and to work with the local government officials so that we can really have a good solid plan to keep people flowing in. So one of the things I think is exciting, Tim, is the fact that the price I believe the price this year is $22 for the ticket. And you know what? That's going to include a free parking.
Wow.
And
that's great.
Yeah, and people say, well, we're going to park in the mud. So it could, if it rains, the areas that they have are all well drained. They do this, this is an expo center, and they have this area extremely well drained. And I know that's a fear for people. And even in the flea market, we have as many spots plotted out, and that will soon be on the website. We'll talk about that in a minute. But in that infield at the fairground, it looks like it's just going to be mud and dirt. That's not true. It is specifically drained for events that they have that could happen in the rain. They park semis on that, and so we have no fear that is going to that will be successful. So why don't I take a break here from all the talking? Why'd you ask me or say something?
So, and on the website currently, you've laid out where the booths are in the various buildings now. So, and you have enough booths. If everybody shows up that was at 2016 Hamvention, you have enough booths to take care of them in 2017.
That's correct. And we are also looking at, I'm pleased to say we'll probably have those pavilions. They look like big white tents in a way. We're not really using the word tents, but they're air conditioned. They're very, very nice. And I think you and I had originally talked that was one of the visions that we had there, and it looks like that is going to happen. And so we'll have those at our disposal as well, and to help with getting things out of the weather, and if we have overflow areas, because we don't want anybody to be cramped. We want to have a good flow through the whole complex, and I think you've been there. It'll be a nice flow.
Yes. So let's for a minute. Let's talk about the flow, and if I'm parking, as part of the $22 to get into Hamvention,
right?
And I'm parking quite a ways away. Is there any transportation? How are you going to handle that?
That's a good question. We've thought about that. And as I myself, and if I go to DX Engineering and I got my car out there, Now, how am I going to get the stuff I just bought back out there? Can I get any help? Sort of like we had some of that at Hera. We think it's even going to be better this year, that we have a staging area where you can get your stuff out to the cart, take you right to your cart, bring you right back in. And so you'll be able to really load up with equipment and things that you may want. And that would be the same clear from the flea market as well. We should be able to get that taken care of. Now, when you talk about the cart traffic, it's going to be a specific flow, and the people will be well trained in it, so they aren't running willy-nilly high speed everywhere. We want everybody to be safe as possible.
One of the things about Hera, and you and I both, I think, can agree that Hera had its faults, but it also had a lot of areas. The main arena was one area, and the main food area was another area where guys could sit down and talk. And you would find guys that this was their once a year meeting. They might live California and New Hampshire, and they got together at Dayton, and they were able to sit down, have a sandwich, and talk. What do those opportunities look like out at Greene County
Well, I'll tell you,
Fairgrounds?
that's big on my mind too, because I love to meet people and sit down and talk with them a minute, as you do. I've seen you do it a lot. And we have rented many more benches that'll be out there, nice benches, and we hope to maybe have at least one of the pavilions just for a nice meeting room where people can sit and that. And also, when people sit and talk, they like to have maybe a good drink or something to eat, some good food. So, much as I loved Hera, one of the things I didn't necessarily like about it was the food. And I complained to them about it, but it really, they sort of had that. So right now, we as Hamvention are bringing in a lot of different like food vendors, food trucks. It's big in our area right now. And we want to have a nice wide variety of great things to eat. And as well as we will have alcoholic beverages available too. And I don't think there'll be anything stronger than wine, but still, if you want to have a beer, maybe a glass of wine, we're going to make that available because, it's all part of being a 5-star event.
And to do this 5-star event, it takes a commitment of volunteers. And so let's talk about the Dayton Amateur Radio Association and the number of volunteers that it takes to put on Hamvention.
Oh, normally it takes about 600 volunteers. 600 volunteers. And right now we have a leadership team of 86 people. 86 individuals that we meet with on a very regular basis. And these are all volunteers. So those of you who have led volunteer organizations, know the trials and tribulations. But I'll tell you what, and you had a chance to come to our Christmas party to meet a lot of these people. Their hearts are so into it. I'm not sure anywhere else in the country that you could bring that many people together and keep them focused, working together with a lot of drama without a lot of drama or infighting to make this happen. And they're working basically around the clock to make it happen.
And that's to me is really the secret sauce to Hamvention, is that the Dayton Amateur Radio Association, 600 volunteers that come together. I mean, their enjoyment is seeing others have fun at Hamvention.
You're right.
And come from all over the country, all over the world to come to this. This is the signature event of amateur radio coming together and friends. And so you want to talk about what the theme is for 2017, Michael?
Same friends, new location. Same friends, new location. And I want to take this opportunity to remind people of all the things that they've done through Hamventions down through the years and the friends that they've made. I imagine you've got stories. I got a lot of stories back from when I first started going to Hamvention and all the different things that happened to me, leading Hamvention and being really intimately involved. But it's been a wonderful story, and I think everybody that's been there has a story. If you didn't get a story from Hamvention, you probably weren't there. Good or bad, but there's usually enough good. And so what we really want people to keep in mind is please support us. It's easy, it's, what is it? Backseat drivers don't know the feel of the wheel, but they sure know how to make a fuss. We want help on this. We want good, strong, solid advice. And I want to talk a little bit about our communication process. We've had a glitch here lately. And the glitch was our webmaster, been a great guy for years on this. He has run into some serious family issues that he's had to pay attention to. And he had to recently resign from it. He just couldn't get everything done. And he was very regretfully had to do that. So we have scrambled. We have people now in place to take care of this. We have to keep qualified people in there. And you will see a lot more information come out of at our website than has been, and probably within the next 10 days. So we're not trying to keep things secret. Two things, we had that problem with the website. And if you've ever had a website in any organization and your webmaster leaves, it's not always an easy thing to jump into. So we ask for your forgiveness there and your patience. And number two is, and I think he also took care of the Yahoo group, in which I know that you personally have said, well, that's kind of fallen behind a little bit. It's going to pick up. We'll be taking care of it.
Well, Michael, we really appreciate your openness and the fact that, you come up here, we sit down, we talk about these things, and you bring us information. You've got a lot of challenges ahead of you. I know every day that you and the 86 committee members, and that's just incredible, are working to make Hamvention 2017 a success. We're all in. We're all in. We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
We know that this is going to be the hardest Hamvention ever because of the change, and we're all hoping for the best, and we're rooting you on.
All right, Tim, I want to thank you and the thousands of other hams that are supporting us and want us to be successful. And for us, it's not a hope we'll be successful. We have, we make New Year's resolutions. We have New Year's determination. We will be successful. It will be a 5-star event. And after this Hamvention, the plan is you go, whoa, this is good. How'd these guys do that?
Well, we're looking forward to that, and we're all with you, Michael. Thanks again for coming in today, and thanks to all of you for watching another edition of DX Engineering Videos.